keynote speaker, who is Dr. Tiffany Harris, a devoted wife and mother who wears many hats. She's not just an in-demand, international, award-winning inspirational speaker. She's also a coach, a mindset coach, a mentor, and a three-time author. She has a growing consulting company called Shift Your Mindset and Dream Big, LLC. That sounds good, doesn't it? With 2 prestigious Changemaker of the Year awards under her belt, she's also a Business Grammy nominee, a Faith Made Millionaire nominee, and an alum of the Ignite Speakers program developed by the one and only Lisa Nichols. Beyond those titles, Dr. Harris is the visionary behind Win Women Empower, a global women's membership community. Her mission is to empower individuals worldwide to transform their mindset, allowing them to reach new heights in all aspects of their lives, mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. At the core of Dr. Harris's philosophy lies the belief that shifting your mindset can also alter the course of your life. Get ready to soar, scale, and succeed with Dr. Harris leading the way.
Good, everything went well. She spoke well, with intelligence, courage, and she really gave a positive message to all the 8th graders that's about to go to high school now. So they should take that into keep a mental note of that. When they return to school, they'll be fine.
It was a really good and powerful message. Everybody really thought that it was good. I was looking around the room to see how everybody's reaction was, and they had very a strong emotional and agreement into the speech. And even my ELA teacher, she was taken aback and she loved it, and I know Miss Newkirk loved it. She doing amazing actually, and the speech was top 10 out of 10.
Dr. Harris's speech was so wonderful. It was so inspirational. I think the children are going to really listen to what she had to say and keep it in their minds while they're going through high school. I know my granddaughter will keep it in mind, and I really was inspired listening to her.
Nice person. She really inspired me, and when she gave us these wristbands, these ones thorough, and her favorite, not her favorite color, but she wear a lot of red. Yeah, I like red.
I feel like she was very genuine and very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very inspiring. And when she talked about her past, it inspired me to do better. And that's what I just loved about the whole speech.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Morning Tea with Dr. T. I'm so grateful. I'm so appreciative. I'm just so honored that you all chose to come back and be here with me. My goodness, this is episode 52. Welcome, V. Bolton. Welcome, Takara. Welcome, Fade. Welcome, Millie B. Welcome, Desi. Welcome, Misty. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I know for some of you, it is early in the morning. For me, I'm in Pennsylvania. It is 7:04 a.m. For some of you, it is 6:04 a.m. For those of you in California, shout out to y'all. In California, it is 4:04 a.m. Listen, we've even had individuals here from Hawaii where it's 12:04 a.m. And so I appreciate you all. Go ahead and please, let's just jump in and make sure you're tagging, continue to share, continue to text those women, continue to call them if you need to, and tell them to wake up. Morning Tea with Dr. T is live. And this is the place where they need to be. So thank you for going ahead and letting them know it started. It's time. So thank y'all. And so listen, like I said, y'all have been tuning in from all over the world. So go ahead and drop in the chat where you are tuning in from. Thank you so much, V. Bolton. And I try to shout out and rep y'all cities, states, countries every day. And I know I may forget some, but I'm going to try again. I'm going to keep doing it. So I know we had Mississippi. I know Desi B. She's my moderator on TT. She's in Mississippi, holding it down. It is early in the morning for her. It is 6:05 a.m. and she is up supporting me and helping me over here on TT. Shout out to her. I see Millie B is in California. V. Bolton is in Alabama. I know we've had Liberia here, Hawaii, Cuba, Jamaica, Trinidad. I say New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, Colorado, Michigan, Illinois. That's all I can remember right now. So listen, if I missed y'all, please go ahead and drop it in the chat. Listen, it's a lot, and I truly appreciate it. I'm so grateful, and it just Seriously, like seriously, y'all, every day I'm blown away, but thank you so much. So as we go throughout this morning tea with Dr. T, please continue to share. Please continue to tag all those women. Send them another text message. Like, girl, you didn't respond to my text message. Get up. Go ahead and let them know that we are on. Today we have a very interesting conversation, and like all the other conversations, right? I'm intentional with creating these conversations and these messages that's going to shift your mindset, shift the way that you feel, and shift the courses of actions that you take. And so what we're going to be talking about today is how you're not being overlooked. You're actually being observed, right? And you're like, right? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And so for those of you who are just coming in, welcome to Morning Tea with Dr. T. This is where mindset, leadership, and purpose meet. I am your host, Dr. Tiffany R. Harris, the mindset architect for limitless success. And I'm so glad that you're here. And what I want you to do is, if you didn't already come prepared, go ahead and grab your tea, grab your coffee, get your water. I still have my water in my coffee mug. Get your water, get your protein shake, get your smoothie. And then while you're doing that, you make sure you stop and you grab your pen and grab your notebook. And if you prefer to take notes on your iPad, get your iPad. But this morning, I want you to come prepared and just as studious as you always are so that you can take copious notes on this morning. And I'm so glad that you are here because this is where you get to sip on the faith-fueled, flavored type of tea. And I always have to say that because people will ask, well, what type of tea do you serve? And I have to let them know it's a faith-fueled, flavored type of tea. And so for those of you who may be new here, you may be saying, well, Dr. T, what is that? I'm so glad that you asked. It is a shift your mindset and dream big type of tea. It is a you will win no matter what type of tea. It is a you can do all things. God can do all things but fail type of tea. All right. So that's the type of tea that I serve. Shout out to Nadine, who is on YT. I appreciate you for being here. So listen, y'all. If you've missed any of the episodes, today is episode 52. If you've missed any of them, you can go to my YT channel and the name is at Mindset Shift with Tiff. The same name as my TT name and my IG name. That's my YT name. All right. So you can go over there. You can catch up. Now, we are on 4 different platforms. So thank you, TT. Thank you, FB. Thank you, YT. Thank you, IG. Y'all are all across. So we have a lot of screens going on here, and I appreciate y'all for tapping in. And so let's get into this, right? Because before you say they're overlooking me, before you say I should have gotten the opportunity, before you say they should have selected me, they should have sent me the email so that I can move forward, before you say, oh, nobody sees me, right? I want you to hear this again. You are not being overlooked. You are being observed. Put that in the chat. And so if y'all new here, I'd like for y'all to talk back to me. I'm going to ask you questions, right? I'm going to ask you to put stuff in the chat. Right? And listen, if you hear something that I say or you read something that somebody puts in the chat and you can identify with that, you have experienced that, you can relate to that, go ahead and put Yana, YANA. That means you are not alone. Go ahead and put that in the chat, right? And then, of course, if y'all are here with me live, put good morning in the chat. And if you come back and watch the replay, please go ahead and put replay in the chat so I can shout you out. Okay. So what we've been doing here, V Bolton, Nadine, Desi B, Millie, Takara, we've been building this thing step by step, and y'all been here, and I thank y'all so much for your faithfulness. So we've been building it step by step. We've been talking about discipline. We've been talking about alignment. We've been talking about execution. We've been talking about stewardship. We've been talking about confidence. We've been talking about standards, right? Y'all remember. Y'all have y'all notes too. And today, we're going to deal with perception, right? Which is so important for me because, like I said, I am the mindset architect for limitless success. And one of the things that I do with individuals that I coach is we get to the root of your limiting beliefs. We get to the root of the narratives that you have created about yourself, right? The perceptions, your thoughts, right? And so it's important to tap into that perception that you have, because while many of you feel invisible, but what you don't realize is this is the season of observation. You are under observation. You are under evaluation, right? You are under a microscope, right? And that's not a bad thing. So let me ask you this. Have you ever felt like you were doing the work, but you're not getting recognized, right? Type me. If that's ever been you, you felt like, well, I'm doing the best that I can. I'm showing up and I'm doing my lives. I'm showing up and I'm posting the information. I'm showing up and I'm doing the webinars. I'm showing up and I'm letting them know that I have the book. I'm showing up and I'm giving them, I'm dropping nuggets. I'm dropping gems, right? I'm showing them the results that my clients have, but they're just not picking me. They're just not reaching out to me. They're just not calling me back. I see you, Takara said me. Millie said me. V. Bolton said me. Thank you so much for your honesty and your transparency, right? So here's the truth. God is not hiding you. God is watching you, right? Write that down. God is not hiding me. God is watching me, right? And here's the beautiful blessing, Nadine. It's not just God that's watching you, right? Opportunities are watching you. Rooms are watching you. People are watching you. And your consistency is being evaluated, right? So yes, you may have shown up Monday, Wednesday, Friday for 2 weeks out of the month, but you said you was going to do it every single week. So 4 weeks out of the month, you only did it 2 weeks. You fell off the other two. What happened? So people are watching for your consistency. People are watching to see if you're going to do the things that you said you're going to do. People are watching and say, okay, is she going to come up? Is he going to come up? And when he said he's going to come up, are they consistent in their messaging? Are there consistent results that their clients are seeing? Right. And so let me tell you, some of you know I am the president of a university, Good Life Christian University. It's an online university, faith-based. And I did not start off with the university 2 years ago. I did not start off as the president. I was the alumni coordinator, right? Before I was the alumni coordinator, I was minding my business, right? And I was doing the work that God told me to do, right? So I was taking care of God's business and I was showing up consistently. I was showing up. I was posting for me speaking on stages. I was posting the testimonials that people shared after I spoke on stage and how they were shifted, renewed, transformed, restored, all how they took all those things, right? I was consistent with showing up, me speaking at schools, my coaching programs, all that, all those things, right? I was also consistent with just showing my everyday life, me as a wife, me as a mother, me as a sister, right? So I was showing up. And so the chancellor at Good Life Christian University, shout out to her, Dr. Kalai Shireen Cole, she reached out to me about being the keynote speaker at the commencement ceremony 2 years ago, right? And so then we went over the logistics, some things, and I accepted. And then she sent me an email and she invited me to be on a Zoom call. So I was like, oh, okay. And I see the other individuals who are also going to be on a Zoom. It was about 3 other people, Millie B. And I said, oh, thank you, Cammie, welcome. And I said, oh, well, what is this Zoom about? So now when I get on there and I feel like, well, okay, what's about to happen? Because she's here, he's here. Why am I here? And then I said, oh, okay. She just want to go over more of the logistics about booking me to speak at the commencement ceremony. That's what this is, right? So now I'm listening, Nadine. I'm listening to the chancellor talk, and she's saying to this person, yeah, because I want you. We have to build a board of regents, and I want you to be on the board of regents, and in the capacity of this role and that role and that role, right? She's talking to other people. Stay with me, Takara. And so I said, wait a minute, God, what is happening? V. Bolton, I heard God say, you just wait and you will find out why you are here. I remember it like it was yesterday, Chavez. And that small, still voice, you just wait. I said, okay. All right, God, okay. And so then she gets to me, Dr. Kalai, and she said, so what you don't know is I've been watching you. I've been watching how you show up on social media. I've been watching how you've been consistent. I've been watching the results that people are experiencing. I've been watching how you are authentic. I watch how you come up as yourself. I watch your energy. I watch how you love God. I watch how you move. Like, oh my goodness. I had no idea. At this time, I had never met Dr. Kalai. I had no idea that she had been watching me. And she said, and if you will accept Mimi, I want to offer you the opportunity to sit on the board of regents as the alumni coordinator of the university. What? So people are watching y'all. Please keep showing up. And don't show up because you're thinking, okay, I know they're going to be watching me. No, just show up and do what God has called you to do. Just show up and be your authentic self. Just show up and be genuine. Show up as you. It's too exhausting. It's too cumbersome. It's too much work to try to show up as somebody else and be a fake and a phony and a fraud. Show up as you. And that's all I did. And that's the backstory of how I became the alumni coordinator, right? And so then about a year or so went by and I served in that role as the alumni coordinator. And then at that time, there was some transitions going on. And then we needed a president. There was a president that we wanted to fill that position and the role on the Board of Regents. And so Desi B, the other members of the board said, Dr. Harris. And Chancellor said, Dr. Harris? Yeah, Dr. Harris. And I said, wait a minute. No. Literally, Nadine. I said, no. I'm okay. I'm okay right here as the alumni coordinator. I'm good here. Y'all, I was comfortable there. Come on, stay with me, y'all, because I've been talking to y'all about comfortability. The growth is in the discomfort. The growth is in the discomfort zone. Put that in the chat. I think it was yesterday when I said this. The growth is in the discomfort zone. And if I can be honest, I kept saying no to the president role that I'm in now because that was uncomfortable for me. I wasn't willing initially to lean into the discomfort. Mastered the alumni coordinator. Knew the students, had my newsletters down that I was sending every month. I had my spreadsheets, all that information. I was good. I was coasting. Right? But God said, now it's time to level up. The season in this role is over. And so let me tell you what happened, V. Bolton. I said no 3 times, I kid you not. And I'm going to tell you when I decided to shift and move. And I'm sharing this because this goes back to now, alumni coordinator. It was the chancellor herself. It's her school who had been watching me. I had no idea. And then when I became the president, prior to me becoming the president, there were other board members who were watching me. I had no idea. But I heard God say, who are you to say no to the people, places, and the positions where I have called you to serve? To call her, I said, okay, God, you're going to do me like that? All right, don't do me like that. And I was convicted. So then I went back to the chancellor and I said, okay, yes, I will serve and be the president. So that's how that happened. So people are watching you. I get so many inboxes from y'all telling me how my message spoke to you, how the morning tea with Dr. T pushed you and you went and wrote a book, how you started to write the business plan. Thank you, Takara. So people are watching you. Continue to be consistent. And so observation precedes opportunity. So think of it as the observation is the prerequisite. They have to see you first. They have to see you. And let me catch, and I need y'all to grab this. They cannot see you if they don't see you. Y'all get it? People cannot see you if they don't see you. Because you're not showing up. Because you're not leaning into that discomfort zone. Because you are playing it safe. Because you don't want to step into the challenge. You want to make sure that everything's easy. You want to make sure nothing's shaky, nothing's difficult, right? And so let me elevate your thinking. Before elevation comes, there's observation. Before promotion comes, there's evaluation, right? I see you. Sakara did the T, the cock. Yes. And so and just think of it for those of you who've ever been promoted, right? They had to evaluate you. You were being observed to see if you were able to function in this role, and you probably did above and beyond on your performance evaluations. You were probably leading a team. You were probably stepping up and holding people accountable, or keeping things in order, right? They were watching you. They saw something in you when they said, "Yep, Takara. Yep, Desi B. Yep, Nadine. Yep, Wanda. Yes, Mimi, I want them to go to the next level. I've seen what they've done here. I can only imagine what they're going to do here." Right? Even with me, when I was working a 9 to 5, and I remember when I first started working as a drug and alcohol rehabilitation counselor. My gosh, this was back in 2007. And I started off part-time as the evening drug and alcohol counselor. And within 30 days, Desi forgot. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Within 30 days, I was promoted to the evening supervisor. They were watching me off the bat, right? So you are being watched. You are being assessed. You're not being hidden. You're being evaluated. Let me go over to YT real quick. So Bestie Chavez, she said, me, that was from earlier. Bestie Chavez said, the growth is in the discomfort zone. Yes, it is. I cannot express enough how important it is to lean in to the discomfort. Yeah. And so I've shared this scripture with you all before, Luke 16:10. I have to keep going back to it about stewardship and about you being faithful of little, and God will give you much. Right? I have news for you, Millie. Faithfulness is not announced. It is observed. Will you show up anyway when no one else shows up? Will you show up anyway when nobody comments on your post? Will you show up anyway if nobody registers for the webinar? Will you show up anyway if nobody subscribes to your YouTube channel? Will you show up anyway if nobody hits the heart, if nobody hits the like, if nobody gives it a thumbs up? That is true faithfulness, if you will. That is true commitment, if you will. That is true dedication, if you will. Right? And so let me say this. You don't get promoted because you're ready. You get promoted because you've been consistent under observation. Right? Even when I was working at another company, I came in as the assistant director. And then when the current director moved on, they're looking for somebody to fill that role, right? And just because I was the assistant director, it didn't mean that I was automatically going to be positioned in that role as the director. The company could have easily sought an external candidate. They could have easily stayed internally, but looked at someone else. I see Millie B say, yes, I will. I know that's right. Right? But because they saw the work that I've already done in that assistant director role, because they had already been assessing me, they had already been observing me, they had already been evaluating me, I was promoted to that director's role, right? The season was up. I've done all that I could do as the assistant director. Now, God said, you've shown yourself ready. You've shown yourself consistent. You've shown yourself faithful. Now I'm going to take you to the next level. And how many of you know the next level will not just be the last level? Put that down. My next level will not be the last level. God is constantly watching you. People are constantly watching you. Bigger doors, greater territories will become available, right? And so it didn't just stop at the assistant director to the director level. Then time went on. They said, you know what? We don't just want you to be director of this one program. We want you to be the director of all of our programs that are like this in Philadelphia. So now I became the Philadelphia director of these programs. So now I didn't just have one program that I was running, I had both of them, both of their programs in Philadelphia. Why? Because I showed that I was faithful of what I had. I was responsible with it. And that opened up doors for more, right? So let me ask you, are you showing up when nobody is clapping? Because them days when I staff, oh God, I have 40 plus staff, and y'all talking about different personalities, Millie, attitudes, Nadine, what? Testing me, Wanda, different spirits, Chavez, my Lord. But I stayed the course, and I was unmovable and I was unshakable. Do you understand? I stood my ground, and I was a fear director. I tell you, I was fair, right? And I showed up anyway. I wasn't scary. I didn't throw in the towel and say, hey, y'all, head, CEO, I'm not doing this no more. No, I showed up anyway, despite, well, even when the residents at the time, right, were having behaviors. I told y'all, I've been in the mental health field for over 20 years now. So the residents I was working with at the time, they were diagnosed with schizophrenia. It was their primary diagnosis. So how are you showing up? When nobody is clapping, will you show up? When nobody is watching, so you think. So just because you don't see that little like button that's clicked, just because there's no heart, just because there's no comments, just because you don't see the views, I promise you people are watching. I promise you they are watching. But will you still show up? Even when nobody's validating you, even when nobody's calling you up saying, girl, you did a good job. Millie B said, unstoppable and fierce. I know that's right. Will you still show up? If none of you came and sent me a voice note, if none of you sent me a text message, let me know how the morning tea with Dr. T shifted you, how one of my speeches impacted you, how my masterclass changed your life, I will still show up. Will you still show up? Drop one word. Will you be consistent or inconsistent? Congratulations, Mimi. Thank you. And so let me just say this. Let's have a real talk moment here, right? You say, I deserve more, but your consistency says, oh, well, not yet. It's not matching up. What you say is not matching up what you do. Some of you say, well, yep, I'm ready for the next level. I see you, Takara said consistent. Some of you say, yep, I'm ready for the next level. But your discipline says, oh, I'm still developing. Newsflash, Wanda. Newsflash, Reed Bolton, Desi B, Dr. Mike, Takita, Leandra, Jate, Levant. That's the gap. Danielle, Lady Tweet, that's the gap, Kim. So what you do unseen determines what you receive publicly. Let me say that again. I want y'all to get that. You can write it down. What you do unseen determines what you receive publicly. Right? Let's go deeper. What you do in private is being recorded, not by people, but by your patterns. Yeah. You're like, well, Dr. Harris, why? I'm going to tell you why. Let's talk about these habits that you have, right? Your habits, they're going to build your character. Your habits, they're going to shape your consistency. They're going to shape your discipline. Your habits will determine your capacity. Some of you may be saying, but Dr. Harris, you just don't understand. I have so much going on. I get tired. I cannot consistently get up here and do this every day. Well, one of the first things that you're doing wrong is you're saying that I cannot do this consistently. Right? So let's work on shifting your language, shifting the things that come out of your mouth. As a man thinketh, He is, right? As you speak things into the atmosphere is what you become. Shift what you speak. Galatians 6:9, it tells us, let us not grow weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap. How many of you are excited about reaping your harvest? Put that in the chat. I am excited. And you talking about weary, getting tired? I've been up here, y'all. Millie B says, speak positive. Absolutely. Good morning, sunshine. Out there in Georgia, good morning. Every day, y'all. This is episode 52. I've been up here for 52 days consecutively, straight. Haven't missed a day. I've gotten up here and I've done this live in hotels because I was traveling. I've done it in airports because I was traveling. Right? Due season is not random. It's the result of sustained consistency. And so God is not just looking to see if he can trust you. He wants to know if he can trust you with timing, right? You're being trusted with timing. I told y'all this before. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. The difference between the 99 percenters and those at the top who are the 1% is because they take advantage and they utilize the same 24 hours that we all have. How are you utilizing your time? Some of you are getting up at 7 o'clock. You should be getting up at 5 o'clock. Some of you are staying up until 1 o'clock in the morning, and you should be taking it down at 10 o'clock. Some of you are scrolling on TikTok, Instagram, YT, IG. Oh, yeah, get me messed up with saying the names. TT don't like you to say the names. But nonetheless, right? You're not being a good steward of your time. And so if I can elevate this again for you, delay is not a denial. Y'all know this. It's development, right? Put that down. Delay is not a denial. It's development. Because if you are elevated too early, you won't sustain it. So there's some work that God has to do, right? As you are being observed, as you are being watched, as you are being evaluated. And so my question to you is, are you willing to stay consistent? Even when it feels like no one sees you, and I promise you they're watching. Just because they don't say anything, oh, they're watching. Coach Renewing, thank you for joining. And you may have had people, put Yana, if you can relate. I've had people that come to me and say, I saw what you were doing. I heard what you said. Oh, it helped me so much. I went ahead and I made that phone call. I went ahead and I sent that email out. I didn't say anything. I didn't comment. I just be watching from the sidelines. But I see you. It's people out there who just watch and don't say anything. And that's all right. That's all right. But are you willing to stay consistent even when it feels like no one sees you? And if that is you, put I stay ready in the comments. Put I stay ready. And so you're not being ignored. You're not. You're being evaluated. You're not being skipped. You are being strengthened. That's it. The time has to be right. Put that down. I'm not being skipped. I am being strengthened. You're not behind. You are being built, Wanda. You're not behind. You're being built, Chavez. You are not behind. You are being built, Nadine. And so y'all know that I like to give y'all application and things for y'all to do today, not tomorrow, not next week, not next month, today. The first thing that I want you to do, I see you, Takara said, I'm not being skipped, I'm being strengthened. This is what I want you to do today. I want you to show up like you are being watched. Just show up. They're watching. I'm telling you they are. So just keep showing up. Keep doing what God told you to do. Keep using your voice. Keep sharing your story. Keep promoting the products. Keep sharing, talking about the services. Keep posting the testimonials about the results that your clients receive. Right? Keep showing up. And then 2, I want you to execute the opportunity. Execute like the opportunity is already yours. All right. 3, I want you to eliminate inconsistent habits. And then 4, I see you. Thank you, Sunshine. She said, keep showing up. I want you to commit to discipline, publicly and privately. Commit to discipline, because how you show up now, it's going to determine what you can be trusted with next. Thank you, Sunshine. God, I told you, it's not just God that's watching you. There's opportunities waiting for you. People are watching you, right? And so let me give you a takeaway, 2 takeaways. Write this down. I show up like I'm already being selected. Thank you, Sunshine. I show up like I'm already being selected. And then 2, my consistency is preparing me for my next level. And so if this message spoke to you, I want you to comment, I stay ready. And I want you to not be a gatekeeper and share this live and this information to yourself. I want you to share it with all the women that you know. Yes, all of them, all the communities, all of the church congregation, the usher board, the praise dance teacher, the evangelist department, the trustee. Share it with all of them. All of them. Yes. All right. And if you are seriously ready to move from being seen to being selected, then I invite you to stay connected with me in everything that I have going on, right? You will find yourself somewhere. And so for some of you that knows my company, it's called Shift Your Mindset and Dream Big. It's an LLC. But underneath that, I have services specifically for women. And my global membership community for women, it's called WIN, WIN, Win Women Empower. And this is a space that God and I have carefully and intentionally curated, created, and developed for women to come in as your authentic self. This is a safe space. This is a judgment-free space. I'm telling you, this is a pull off your lashes. I don't care if the glue is still showing. I don't care. Pull off your lace front and all you have is the cap on. Come as yourself. Broken nails and all. Come as yourself. It does not matter. Right? And so there's a few things that are going on. One of those things is in September, we have our 4th annual Win Women Empower Brunch and Conference. Is an extraordinary, life-changing, transformational atmosphere that you want to be a part of. You don't want to just see the testimonials, hear the testimonials. You don't just want to see what everybody else was talking about. You want to be in there and close to the fire for yourself, so that you can build, that you can network, so that you can soar, scale, and succeed. That is taking place September 26th in Philadelphia. We will be releasing information about ticket sales very, very soon. So stay close. If you're not following me, follow me on every platform. Get connected. For that conference, you have the opportunity, if this is for you, to apply to be a speaker. We have speaker applications already coming in. The ones who were selected last year, they shut the stage down. Okay? If you missed it, you missed it. If you was there, you know. So what they say, if you know, you know. So you can also apply to be a speaker in September. So reach out to me. My team will get you that link so that you can apply. Right? So many things happening. The summer edition of my magazine, the Win Women Empower magazine, it's coming out in a couple months. You can apply to be featured. If you are a woman in leadership, in business, you have a ministry, you have a voice, you have a message, you have a story, right? Apply to be featured in the magazine. Send me a message. My team will send you that link. Please get connected. I do not want you to miss out. My next masterclass is coming up May 25th. Listen, although the discounted rate window has ended, the opportunity for you to get plugged into the masterclass has not ended. You can still join. And this is just not for someone who wants to come up and do a live, or who wants to do a podcast, or who wants to speak on stage. No matter what lane you're in, whether you are an evangelist, a pastor, you're in real estate, you are a truck driver, you're a teacher, you are a speaker. You have to be able to communicate. And I have a program that's going to help you do that clearly, with confidence and with conviction. So you can sign up for that. And then lastly, you can become a member, one of the founding 100 founding women of When Women Empower. So many things are going on. So you just make sure you stay connected and you do not miss out. But this has been another amazing episode of Morning Tea with Dr. T. And if you don't remember anything else, I want you to remember that you are not overlooked. You are being observed. All right. So stay consistent because your moment is coming. I'm trying to tell you, it is coming. Put that in the chat. I will stay consistent because my moment is coming. And put your name on it. Put your name on it. Wanda will stay consistent because her moment is coming. And I see Wanda said, I am not behind. I am being strengthened. Yes, you are. Wanda said, I will stay ready. Absolutely. So this has been another amazing episode of Morning Tea with Dr. T. I look forward to you all coming back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so, Father God, we thank you. We thank you and we bless you for the presence of your presence. Thank you for everything that was shared on today. Thank you for everything that was not just shared, but also received on today. I thank you for this information that's going to help the women and the men. Shout out to the men who have been here. That's going to help them move and show up as if they're already selected, God. That Lord, remind them, although they don't see the people are still watching them. People are still tuned in. People are still observing them, right? The opportunities are there, but people want to see, can I trust them with this assignment? Are they ready for this assignment, right? So God, I ask you that you help them show up anyway. Help them press, help them push, help them be consistent, God. Consistency over inconsistency, God. I thank you for their new habits, God. I thank you for their new routines. I thank you for the new schedules, God. I thank you for another level, God, of dedication, Lord. For too long, they've been doing things their way, God. Let them in this season do things your way so that they can see the results and they can experience and receive every blessing that you have stored up for them, God. Lord, I just thank you that you're going to cover them, God, and keep them safe as they travel to their various destinations, God. Lord, I just thank you on today, God. They will be a blessing to others. I thank you for calling people to bless them just the same, God. I thank you that they will go forth and they will not be afraid to do the will and the work of the Lord, God. So I thank you that their public, their private sacrifice will be rewarded and recognized openly, God. I thank you that they will succeed and they will run and they will stay in the race and they will endure, God, until the end. And I seal this prayer in your name, Jesus. Amen, amen, and amen. All right, y'all. This has been another amazing episode. Thank you all for being here. I look forward to seeing you back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have an amazing